You guys ready for your first comic?
Very quickly just turned into the Price is Right. Come on down situation. All right, so hi everybody, nice to be here. If you could pull your books out and turn to page 394, we'll get started. This is a very professorial vibe. My parents wanted me to get a PhD, so they like this. Just take pictures. We don't have to tell them what I'm doing. I gotta say, I'm not enjoying living in the end times. Like, is anybody having a good time? No, you're not. No, you're not. Just, and like, we have to be in it, right? Like, the ice caps are melting, the ocean caught fire last year, they're taking rights away from white women. There's a guy named Kevin on the floor of Congress right now who's not getting what he wants. As a black woman, I never thought I would see that. The Masked Singer's on TV. That, to me, is a sign of end times, because it doesn't feel like a real show. It feels like a show that they would make up to be on in the background of a sci-fi movie. Like, there are people in a mess hall, or like a common area, like getting ready to suit up and go fight bugs, and the Masked Singer's on in the background. But it's a real show, and it's been on for like 6 seasons. This is not gonna end well. So, I'm just trying to figure out, at what point of the end times do I get to stop going to work? Like, when can I stop? I'm wholly non-essential worker. My job will not be needed in the apocalypse. So, yeah, and like, am I gonna get some sort of like notification on my phone, or am I gonna have to go to work and they tell me? Like, I'm just trying to figure out when I can stop going. Like, is it in the, I'm good at history, but like I didn't study like granular stuff. Like, when Greece was falling, did that happen? Where they were just like, stop the pottery, cease work on the aqueducts, go get on the orgy, we're done here. Like, when did that happen? Because I have training to do. I live in Boston, and the Boston Dynamics robots are allowed outside. I'm never gonna make it if I don't train. And yeah, I can't do it between Zoom meetings. It's not enough time. Like, I got 40 minutes on the elliptical, but if I'm gonna outrun a robot dog, I'm gonna need way more time. So just let me know when I can stop going to work. So it should surprise nobody who's heard me speaking that, like, Matt, I have anxiety.
Yeah.
Thank you. You guys seem on board with that, which good. Many of us do. It's not why we do this, but it doesn't hurt. And honestly, I think a bright spot of the pandemic is that we can talk about that. Like, I can just say to you all, hey, I'm an anxious person, or I'm depressed, or I have a panic disorder. Like, we get to talk about those things more. Especially for women of color, I think that's so important. Like, listen, I'm not a strong black woman. I struggle with the door getting in here. Like, that's not my thing. I'm not stoic, I'm not hard. I'm hard in the way that a hard taco is hard. Like, it looks great on the menu, but you put pressure on it at the wrong spot at the wrong time, it's nachos, which is great. Nachos are great. But they are hard to handle, they're a little bit unpredictable, and they are messier than some of us might like. That's me. That's me. But people love nachos, so hopefully by the end of this you'll love me too. We can only hope, right? That's why I do this. But I've been managing my anxiety, trying to like not just stay at home in the house all day. So this past February, about a year ago at this point, I went to go see my parents in Africa. I had not seen them since before the pandemic, so it had been like 3 years. I was really excited to go see them. They're some of my favorite people. They're really supportive of my comedy, which the other comics can tell you is not a given by any means. I was also a little nervous to go because I went with my sister and my new brother-in-law. My sister got married during the pandemic. So as the older sibling, who is unmarried, no prospects to speak of, there are those nerves when you go and see your extended family, right? With everybody that's just gonna ask you like, ooh, are you next? When are you bringing somebody home? When's it gonna happen for you? So I'm like sweating. Every time we get in the car to go see my uncles, my aunts, my older cousins, I can now report to you on the other side of that trip that there were no questions. I am old enough that people have stopped asking. So the younger ones among you that are like, oh, I hate when my parents ask, oh, you're gonna have some feelings when they stop, let me tell you. And at first, it was a little bit humbling, right? It's like the people that are supposed to believe in me most have just given up. But then I got to a different place about it, right? Because I am not giving up. I'm waiting. Yes. I grew up in the South, so I've been going to weddings since I was about 19 years old. I'm in my mid-30s now. Round 1 is wrapping up. I'm a second round draft pick, you guys. I'm second wife material, so my time is coming. Listen, we all had time during the pandemic to figure out who we were as people, and here's what I know about myself. I am romantic, but I'm not naive. I am smart, but I'm also the kind of smart that doesn't mind telling men they're being stupid, which I'm told is off-putting, but I'm too old to change. And I'm cute enough, but I'm in no danger of getting pursued by Pete Davidson. Like, I understand the best way that I can think to describe it is I am a minivan of a human woman, okay? Practically nobody goes for a minivan as their first vehicle. DJs, shitty drummers, and youth pastors. Which, no, and creepy. A minivan is a vehicle you come to as your life meets you there, right? So when you're looking for something sturdy, dependable, willing to help you move a couch in fast, I got you. And like, if there are seltzer cans and cracker crumbs all over the place, like you look past it because it gets you where you need to go. I should also specify, not a sports utility vehicle. Can't stress that highly enough. I am not splashing through streams, I'm not scaling mountains. These are a decorative athletic shoe. I am going to break down lane with a minor inconvenience. Like, just so we're very clear on what we're going for. This is not a super popular strategy, as you might imagine. My mom doesn't love it. First wives don't love it, but second wives actually really like it, which is how I know I'm onto something. But the biggest question I get is, what if you end up with kids? Like, if you're a second wife, you might end up with kids in your life. Are you okay with that? Yeah, I'm actually really great with that. Like, I love hanging out with kids, but like, don't necessarily need my own. I like kids the way that I like boats. Like, I'm excited to be around them, and it's always fun. You're like, hey, you want to go on a boat? I'm like, yeah, sure. But like, I don't need to own one. They're expensive, they dictate where you live, and they're always sticky or wet for some reason. So like, that's not something I need all the time. But yeah, it's the best case scenario. Like, I might not have them all the time. We like the same snacks and the same TV. I have no interest in manufacturing in-house, and you're telling me that I can outsource like the auto industry? There's no downside to this plan. It is exactly what I need to be doing. And hopefully it's what some of you are considering doing. Now, this is not a popular plan, and not everybody's going to be on board with it. I'm fine with that. It's okay with me. Because I want those of you that want something else to have your coupes, have your convertibles. But if you want something different, get in with me. I have 6 more seats. We're going for certified pre-owned, and we feel awesome about it. I'll give you back to that. Thanks, everybody.